In continuation with the previous anatomy lectures of the spine models, now we are going to talk about the relevant bony and radiological anatomy for putting up the iliac screw and the sacroiliac fixations. It must be remembered and tried that whenever possible, this sacroiliac fixation should always be tried in conjunction with the putting of the S1 screws. L5 S1 interbody fusion should also be tried whenever we try to put the iliac screws, because this screws increases the fusion rate by 80 to 95% and they reduce the strain on the S1 screws by a factor of 70%. Though the experienced surgeons try to put and always put these screws by freehand technique, but for starters, they must learn the few radiological views for putting up these screws. The basic views that are required for putting up these iliac screws are the lateral view, the obturator outlet views, and the obturator inlet views. That will describe later on when we try to put this screw on the bone model. Bluetooth on कर दिया ना? So this is the basic sawbone model of the pelvic girdle, which basically is made up of a strong triangular bone, that is the sacrum, and two hip bones. This hip bone is basically made up of three bones: the ilium, the ischium, and the pubic bone. All these bones joined here to form this cavity that is called as acetabulum. This hip bone is basically has four borders: the superior border, the posterior border, the anterior border, and here lies the medial border. The superior border runs from this bony projection that is called as anterior superior iliac spine to the posterior superior iliac spine. The posterior border runs from posterior superior iliac spine, then there is a posterior inferior iliac spine, then there is a major notch that is called as greater sciatic notch, then the ischial spine, and the lesser sciatic notch. The anterior border runs from anterior superior iliac spine to anterior inferior iliac spine to the acetabulum. These borders are of main interest for putting up the iliac screws. It has three major surfaces: the gluteal surface, the iliac fossa, and the sacropelvic surface. The sacral surface basically forms the sacroiliac joint along with the sacral bone. So first we talk about the exposure for putting up the iliac screw and set S2 alar iliac screws. For craniocaudal exposure, the caudal exposure should be up to the dorsal S3 sacra foramina, and laterally it should be up to the posterior superior iliac spine. While exposing the sacral foramina, one must remember that these sacral foramina are the exit of the medial cuneal nerves. So when we try to expose these foraminas, there are chances then later on the patient have the sensory loss over the buttock region. So to prevent this, what we can do, we can leave a cuff of muscle over these foraminas, but in practical life usually it's not possible. So one complication of putting up these screws of loss of sensation, partial sensation over the buttocks. So our caudal exposure should be up to the S3 sacral foraminas and laterally up to the posterior superior iliac spine. There are two basic entry points for putting up these iliac screws, one through the PSIS and one is the recess screw. The PSIS screws, once one put directly through this PSIS after putting a trough or creating a trough here, because these screws tend to protrude through the skin and that is a source of major morbidity, like in 18% of the cases in the post-operative period. So first we used a 3 or 4 mm drill bit and create a trough here so that the screw head can be embedded inside the bone, and from here one can use a gear shift probe. So for using the gear shift probe, our basic direction of putting up these screws is, one must remember that for all these iliac fixation, the basic direction is towards the AIIS, the anterior inferior iliac spine. So where you are putting the traditional iliac screws, the recess iliac screws, or the sacroiliac fixation, the direction is always towards the anterior inferior iliac spine. And the basic structures that we want to prevent are: we must not enter inside this greater sciatic notch, we must not enter inside this hip joint. So these two important structures has to be avoided at any cost, and that's the basic philosophy of putting up the iliac fixation. So for traditional iliac screws, we start from here, that through the PSIS after making a trough, and by using a gear shift probe, we go directly towards the AIIS. We have to use this part of the bone, the 2 centimeter above, the part of the bone that lies within the 2 centimeter to this greater sciatic notch, because this is the thickest bone. This bone is the thickest bone. So we must try to remain within the 2 centimeter of the greater sciatic notch. We start from here using this gear shift probe. We go towards the anterior inferior iliac spine. So that is the basic technique for putting up the traditional iliac screws. For putting up the freehand screws, we must try to locate the greater trochanter on the table. We must palpate the greater trochanter, and we must try to remain above the greater trochanter. So by this way, we will always remain above this acetabulum. The ideal length of this iliac screws is like 110 to 140 mm, but in practical life, we should put a shorter screws like 100 to 110 mm, so that automatically will prevent entry inside the acetabulum. For preventing your gear shift probe or screw entering into the greater sciatic notch, there is a practical aspect that we can remove a bit of the gluteus muscle from this surface, and we can directly palpate the greater sciatic notch while putting up the screws. So by this technique, you know that you are not entering inside the greater sciatic notch. Feel the greater trochanter over here and go in that direction. You can see that is like 40 degree in the horizontal plane and like 40 to 50 degree in the vertical plane. So that is our traditional iliac screws. To prevent the complication of the screw head protruding through the skin, there is a modified technique that is called the recess screws. When we expose this part of the sacroiliac joint, the recess screw is 1 centimeter deep. The recess screw is 1 centimeter deep to the traditional entry point. It lies somewhere here, deep within the bone. Again, the things are same. From here, it will have a flatter trajectory. From here, this is the second entry point for putting up the iliac screws. From here, again, you have to remain within the 2 centimeter of the greater sciatic notch that you can palpate directly. You can palpate directly during the surgery by removing a part of gluteus, and just have a knowledge of this slope. Just have a feel of this slope during the surgery, and using the gear shift probe, go towards the AIIS. Go towards the AIIS. Again, the length is same. For male, usually 8 to 9 mm screws. The length is 110 to 140 mm. This is about the iliac fixation. So, for connecting these iliac screws to the sacral screws, one has to use the offset connector. That offset connector itself will reduce the strength of the construct by 15 to 20%. And secondly, since these screws has a chance to protrude through the skin and post-operative pain, the S2LR iliac screw comes into practice. For putting up the S2LR iliac screws, the entry point lies somewhere here between the S1 S2 foramina. One must first mark the S1 foramina, the S2 foramina, and from their lateral borders draw a line, and lateral to this line, we can use this bone, this thick quadrangle bone, for putting up the S2LR iliac screws. This whole bone can be used, but the traditional or the practical entry point is first mark the entry point of your S1 screws that lies somewhere over here on the inferolateral aspect of the joint, and then in line with that mark your entry point of S2LR iliac screws, so that it will be easier to connect through a rod later on. So between the S1, S2 foramina, lateral to it and in line with the S1 screws, here lies our entry point of the S2LR iliac screws. So again, using a 3 to 4 mm drill bit, make an entry point, and using a gear shift probe, one has to, the trajectory remain the same, but it will be lot flatter. The trajectory remain the same. One has to go through this sacral bone, and at the length of around 2.5 to 3.5 centimeter, you will enter into the SI joint. Then again penetrate the cortex of the iliac bone. Try to remain within the 2 centimeter of the greater sciatic notch and go towards the AIIS. So this is about the S2LR iliac screw fixation. These screws are a bit shorter. In practical life, it is like 90 mm to 110 mm, and the ideal width is around 7 mm in female patient and 8 to 9 mm in male patients. This S2LR iliac screw has the advantage of remaining in the line of the S1 screws. They have less post-operative pain and less chances of failure. But since it crosses the SI joint, so there is a theoretical possibility of SI joint pain later on. To overcome this problem, some companies has designed special screws for putting for this S2LR iliac fixation that have a proximal smooth shaft with holes inside through which you can put hydroxyapatite for SI joint fusion. So this is about the S2LR iliac screws. So coming to the radiological views, when we start putting our iliac screw or the sacro S2LR iliac screws, we should start first in the lateral view, then we dictate our direction for preventing the greater sciatic notch. So you just start your screw trajectory in the lateral view, and when you are sure that you are not entering inside the greater sciatic notch while using the gear shift probe, then change the direction into the obturator outlet view. So this is our basic obturator outlet view. For making this view, there's a very simple thing. You just put your C-arm, you can put your C-arm in the direction of your probe, that is parallel to the direction of the probe, parallel to the direction of your screws, and just using your gear shift probe go towards the AIIS. So we switch to the C-arm first and we look how it is there on the fluoroscopy. So this is the basic fluoroscopy view of obturator outlet view. In this view, we can mark a teardrop. This is the teardrop structure, which basically comes from putting the PSIS and AIIS into a line. So this is our trajectory for putting up the iliac screws. Here is our gear shift probe. This is screws for joining the model, so just don't look for it. So your gear shift probe should start in the center, in the inferior part. So we can see we are a bit higher, so we have to remain within the inferior part of this teardrop, and we have to go directly. The end on appearance should be there after putting up the screw. This is the basic obturator outlet view. So we now have put our iliac screw, and you can clearly see the end on appearance of this screw in the obturator outlet view. This is lying right now in the center of this teardrop. So it is not going inside the greater sciatic notch and neither into the acetabular. So this is the another view that is called obturator inlet view, that is basically perpendicular to your iliac screw, just opposite to the obturator outlet view, perpendicular to the iliac screw. This will clearly show that your screw lies within the iliac bone, not going into the iliac fossa or neither breaching the outer iliac cortex. This is the fluoroscopy view of the obturator inlet view, where you can see that your screw is lying within the iliac bone, neither going outside or the inside into the iliac fossa. So these basic views, the lateral view, the outlet view and the inlet view, the starter can use for putting up the iliac screws safely. So depending on the requirement, you can put either the traditional iliac screw, the rhesus iliac screw or the S2LR iliac screw. But only word of caution for putting up these screws is that you should always try to put this screw in conjunction with the S1 screw and L5 S1 interbody fusion wherever possible. This is the only word of advice from my side. So this concludes the basic anatomical and radiological session of putting up the sacroiliac fixation. We will continue with the other presentations. Thank you.